Hi guys, here is a quick review of the Apple Watch Ultra and what it means to me as a bloke in his 70s, well on the way to 80 years old. I got this the other week, ordered it with the Ocean Band, the white one, because that was the only way to get it rapidly. That seemed to be one of the least popular band choices, so this was delivered towards the end of September. The waiting list was longer than that for the other straps, but I looked at the straps that came with this watch, and you'll notice straight away that I'm wearing a band from last year's models, and I've found that this is actually better for me because you can just pull it open with the tag. The Ocean Band, I find it too thick. I certainly won't be doing any scuba diving anymore, I don't think, but it looks beautiful, but you have to question, really, is it sort of form before function? I don't know. Where the strap folded over, it seemed too thick for me. The Alpine Band, I wasn't keen on that either, although I like the look of the orange one, but that little metal hook that hooked into the fabric, wasn't too keen on that. Now the other band, it was very similar to this one actually, but I preferred this one. You see that end there? I find that easier to get hold of and pull than the tag on the new bands. You probably see by my hand there, I'm a touch of arthritis in the fingers, in these joints, thumb joint there and there. Means really I can't fight my way out of a crisp packet anymore. Whereas at one time I could do 100 press-ups. Those days are long gone. So what does it mean buying a watch at like this at sort of my age, or our age, should I say? Because I've noticed a lot of you, watching my channel, subscribed, are actually over 60 or over 65. Well, of course, you'll know you get high frequency hearing loss as time goes on. And with me, that progressed to the point where I actually was fitted out with 2 hearing aids. And then that was when we were wearing masks in the UK, and you'd go in somewhere like Costa Coffee or Starbucks, and they'd have those perspex or glass barriers, and then the staff behind the counter would be wearing a mask, so the voice would actually be muffled, and of course the glass muffled it even further. And I got fitted out with hearing aids, and when that was taken away in the last few weeks, actually, given that it's now 1st of October, 2022, I found I no longer needed them. However, for example, the television, you watch the television, you've got high frequency hearing loss. The sound can be a little bit muddy sometimes, though I often think that that's the film quality, although to some extent, obviously, it's the speaker that comes with the television. Now, here's the point I'm getting to and I'm trying to make. You can see the speaker holes there on the Apple Watch Ultra. Now this watch is extremely good at sound quality. You'll see the microphone holes there and there, the small holes. Round the other side, I can't quite stretch that far, but there are other microphone holes. But you can wear this watch, and I have it set to automatically answer at 3 seconds. So, for example, on a morning, I'm up, my wife's out, my wife makes a phone call to me, I've got my watch on, I'm running around the house, I'm actually getting dressed, having a shave, getting my breakfast. We can have a conversation with each other while I'm doing all of that. The watch is up my sleeve at this point. My sleeve's over it. I'm walking around the house. And to me, it's crystal clear. That's the interesting thing. Because I don't get the high frequency sounds anymore. However, the point I'm making is the low frequency sounds come out very clear on this watch. It's startlingly so, in fact. There's no way I'd need to wear hearing aids when I'm listening to this watch because the sounds are low frequency, not the high frequency loss. But there's something about the clarity of the low frequency sound that's outstanding, I think. You might only notice that if you've got a hearing impediment, by the way. So that's extremely useful, and in itself it's worth the ownership of the watch to me, because it means I can go about my daily life. I've got it set on a 3 second ring, like I said, you answer the phone. Thing is, you're retired. I put that to you, you're retired, you're in charge of your own life, aren't you? You no longer have a boss calling you up or anybody you're frightened of offending or anything like that. So, there's no need to rush to get the phone in the house, or we no longer have that sort of thing, but no longer to get the phone in the pocket, go run for the iPhone and pull that out of your pocket on the street and risk having it snatched out of your hand, No, you just take the call when you're watching. You can actually take the call on the watch while you're walking down the street with it up your coat sleeve. That's the amazing thing about it. Other things about this watch, well, yeah, there's the battery life, 36 hours. I was keen on that. I like the fact that it's a titanium case. It feels quite light. But also the bezel there, the raised lip of the case actually extends above the glass. And I say glass, it's a sapphire glass, isn't it? However, the importance of the raised lip around the edges. How many watches do you see these days that don't have a raised lip and the glass is standing proud, ready to get smacked? The other thing is the fascination with longitude on the watch. You've probably seen about the search for longitude and Cloud Isley's shovel beating the warship up the coast there towards the Isles of Scilly, and wrecking a squadron of ships on the rocks, loads of people, hundreds of people drowning, unfortunately, all because they couldn't get the longitude. Well, if I just touch that outer ring, I'm not going to do it because you'd see exactly where I am in the house. You'd see I was on the sofa in a certain house in West Yorkshire. I might do that as a review sometimes, but somewhere else. It's sort of the amazing quality that you can just sort of lay on the sofa and look at that, touch that screen, latitude and longitude shows up. When you've read about the search for longitude in the past and the immense amount of time that Harrison put into his chronometers and to get them past Maskelyne, in the at Greenwich back in the day. Other things I like about this, you can see on the left front of the dial there, the little train. I touch that and it gives you the local trains coming, the local buses too, which must have Wi-Fi connectivity. You can hear the rain now on the conservatory roof. It's autumn here in the UK. Phone calls straight away. You can see the next sunset is 6:42 p.m. today, and the UV factor at the moment is 2. I also do the exercising in the rings. Typically I've been doing about 8,000 steps. I've been doing that and losing interest a bit in doing that, but the heart rate is quite interesting because you can sort of exercise and then see how long it takes your heart to recover from doing that. You can do the EEG scan, you can do a blood scan, blood oxygen scan. You got a compass built in, but for me the main thing is that the fact that you can just literally walk around with this and talk as per normal. Phone call comes in, you don't have to get your phone out of your pocket. You can wear leather gloves like I wear in winter. Another thing of sort of growing older, you tend to need to wear something on your hands. You don't even have to take your gloves off. You just answer the phone walking along. You get a voice coming through quite loud because the loudness of the speaker on here seems very similar to the iPhone 13 Pro Max when it's set to speaker mode. I can hardly tell the difference, if there is any at all. If anything, this seems better and clearer. 3 seconds, rings. If it's not someone I want to speak to, I'll say I'll ring you back. Or I'll just hang up if it's someone I don't want to speak to altogether. Beautiful watch the eye, don't you think? I suppose it depends how much use you make out of it. And also, don't forget the payments. I was very much a Luddite coming up to the pandemic 2020, and then people wouldn't take cash locally, and I was forced to start paying first of all with credit card, you know, touching the payment thing as we all do, and then I put it on the Apple Watch, looked more into it, had a conversation with a couple of people in banks who said the bank app itself had never been breached. You know, the encryptation on the banking app had never been breached at all, and that's you know, to one side of the Apple Pay system, where I don't think any person you deal with or any any business you deal with gets your actual full debit card or credit card number. So I have my debit card set up on this, pay for everything on it, basically, train tickets, pay for all that online with the train app, pay for car parking via an app which is actually on the iPhone. To move into technology like this, I think it's sort of almost expanding exponentially. I mean, I was listening to Tim Cook last week, and he seemed to be saying that augmented reality was the thing of the future, and that's going to totally transform, you know, society as we know it. As though the internet itself hadn't done that. You know, think about it. I mean, you know, most of us moved to the internet. Perhaps some of us a little more reluctantly than others. I was just one of those, unfortunately. But then got into the computers, switched to mobile phones. Now it's on the watch. In the future, it's going to be presumably something else. Perhaps it's going to be glasses on your head. Now, I have reservations about that. So I think, how are you going to walk around the city with virtual reality glasses on? Not the fact that that's not technically possible, but the fact that they might get snatched off your head. You know, I'm walking along. Bad enough the phone in your pocket, but you can put the phone in your pocket. You can hide it. You got the watch up your sleeve, you can hide that as well. There's just a voice coming from somewhere. You walk past a group of people, you're talking. There's a voice coming from somewhere. They don't even know it's coming from a watch up your sleeve. It's just coming from somewhere.